Welcome, Beatrice. Guten Morgen.
Thank you very much. Good morning and good afternoon to all of you who are listening from all over the world, I've heard. Very impressive.
Yes.
So you were asking what Intergraf is and what our main activities are?
Yes, please tell us.
So Intergraf is the European Federation representing the printing industries, and our members are national associations in different countries in Europe. Currently, we have 20 members and 3 associated members. And among the associated members, there's also Achimga. And 2 of our main activities are influencing EU legislation and providing a platform for exchange for our members. Before I come to the profile of the graphic industry that you see on the slide, just a quick explanation. Exchange of information is extremely important in times of crisis, and EU and national associations have really played a major role in the past month to deliver up-to-date information to the members, to the companies in this difficult period. An example is making sure that print was recognized as an essential service by governments, that printers continue to produce. And for us, one specific topic that we worked on hard was the availability of IPA and ethanol, because for some time that was not available to printers in some countries because all of it was used to produce disinfectant. Now, when we look at the profile of the graphic industry, it's a large industry. We have 109,000 companies employing 600,000 people and generating a turnover of 79 million euros. Most of them are SMEs, so 90% really employ less than 20 people. And the main products, that's what you see on the right side, 30% is advertising, 30% is books, newspapers, and magazines, and then the rest is composed by catalogs, labels, and security printing. And when we look, for example, at who we trade with, the EU trades mainly with the US and Switzerland, whereas imports are coming in from China and the US.
So, yeah, please go on. I didn't want to interrupt.
You can. Now, what you see now on the slide is the forecast, what's going to happen to the European graphic industry. This is done by Smithers, with whom we have a cooperation to work on our annual economic report, which we have just published a couple of weeks ago. So here you can see the effect of COVID on the industry. And I must say, COVID has had a very different effect depending on what sector of the printing industry you are working in. Packaging performed rather well due to people stockpiling and buying in supermarkets more than average. Whereas the rest of printing, graphic print, was suffering and is still suffering due to the fact that the advertisement industry was down, and printed advertisement in the press was down due to the closure of shops and confinement and the general lockdown. Now here we see...
Please.
Yes?
No, I was just wondering what the forecast was, because we've been talking about these issues already in the past 2 hours, and basically nobody really knows what's going to happen. Everybody fears a second wave, new lockdowns, new crisis, etc. I was wondering if you were able to forecast what the industry will look like in average this year and the next year, how the crisis will go on, if we'll have the form of a crisis or not.
Well, I cannot deliver a better forecast than anyone else on the panel. I don't have the crystal ball either. What I have seen when I look at advertisers, for example, we know that 63% of brand owners have deferred their advertising campaigns by 3 to 6 months. And that actually means that in autumn, advertising will come back in full force. And we already see it today. We see that outdoor has come back, unaddressed mail advertising has come back. So there is some good forecast, and you see it in the slide also that for packaging, the forecast for 2020 is that it will go down by approximately 3%, but then quickly recover. Whereas for graphic print, we do see a steep drop of 17% that Smithers is forecasting. but then it will be a stabilization. So it will not really go further down than what we see this year. And this is rather good news, combined with the fact that the advertising industry and the economy should be taking off again.
Which is great, of course. So those who have lost some will go back to something more stable. Advertising will come back, and the others have not basically lost, apart for a little dent. In the little dent, of course, means jobs and millions of euro and tens of millions of euro, etc. I don't want to underestimate it, but the forecast is not as gloom as one would expect, basically.
Yes, I think we can say that.
Which is great. Please go on.
One of the other aspects that is important and that we would see in the next slide, because Smithers also has done a forecast on what kind of machinery will be bought in the coming years. And here you see the development of different printing processes over the next years, from 2018, 19, and then a step to 24. And you clearly see that inkjet is forecasted to increase dramatically up to 24. And this means that, of course, we will have lower print runs, we will have more personalized and individualized and more targeted advertising. And I think this will go very well with the consumer and the way the consumer has changed in the past, and maybe also the influence that we've seen that this pandemic had on consumption patterns in general. We do see that consumers pay a lot more, put a lot more focus on quality and health. Also, we can see in surveys that they are happy to support brands that go with this new image of new health and environment. So this is something that we see in the consumer, and I think print is extremely well placed to go into this, to go with the flow of this new tendency, because we've heard in the past presentation, print is renewable, recyclable, and a regrowing raw material. So I think print is well placed to continue performing even during and particularly post-COVID.
So people will tend to be more critical in a way, but print is on the good side, let's say, of one's mind spectrum when it comes to dealing with industries and assessing how reliable, how sustainable industry is. So in general, print is well considered.
Well, if you consider the recycling rate of print compared to all other materials, it's still the best worldwide. And in Europe, we are the recycling champion. So I think print is indeed very well placed to play an important role, continue to play an important role in the future.
Okay. And are we done? Is there any other slide? Are we okay?
We're fine. This is basically the last slide. Just to give you an overview here. If people are interested, they can contact Intergraf and have a look at our economic report, which regroups, of course, much more figures than the ones that I have presented here in this short presentation. But it was a pleasure being with you.
Excellent. Let me check if there is. Beatrice, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And let me see if there is any question pending for you. But if no, there is no question. Everyone seeking information on Intergraf can go to their site and look for information there. Thank you very much to Beatrice Klose, the Secretary General of Intergraf.